It's time for Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, Global Car Care, The Walkabout Grill, and Confluence Health. Now, let's head out to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl for all the live play-by-play action on the NCW Life Channel.
Welcome to the Apple Bowl. It is playoff time for the round of 16 in the 4A tournament here for Washington State Lacrosse. Along with Rod Higley, I'm Eric Granstrom as we get ready for the first round for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder taking on the Monroe Bearcats. And there's an excitement already here, Rod.
Hey, it's playoff time in Wenatchee. It's a good thing. We're ready to go.
Well, we started the season in March kind of hunkering down from weather, wearing heavy coats, and here we are again. It kind of came full circle.
Hey, they're the Thunder. Hopefully it holds off till after the game, but yeah, so it's ready to get this one going.
Tough one here. You've got a team coming in that, what do we know about, Rod?
Not much. The only common foe was Stanwood, and both were beat pretty handily by Stanwood, so you really can't tell much from that. Wenatchee played Monroe last year in a very tight ball game. The Monroe team is mostly seniors and then young guys. So their seniors are going to be ready to play. They're seasoned. So Wenatchee's going to have a tough test, I think.
The good news for Coach, for Brandon and for the Thunder is that they got everybody together just in time for the playoffs.
Everybody's healthy. Everybody's ready to go. Let's hope it stays that way and have a good game for Wenatchee tonight.
We're going to talk to the head coach of Wenatchee Valley as we continue with the pregame show after this timeout. Again, we are ready for the playoffs here at the Apple Bowl tonight. It is Wenatchee Valley and Monroe. We'll have more of the pregame right after this timeout. Pre-game show continues here from the Apple Bowl as we get ready for this playoff game, the first round for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, and now talking with head coach Brandon Parker. Well, Brandon, what do we know about Monroe?
Well, they're a good team, obviously. We're in the playoffs against them. What I know, they've got a couple of really good offensive players that we have some strategy to try to stop them tonight. I don't know, they are good. Their goalie is a very good player. Their defense plays zone along with man-to-man, so we've been practicing against both potential situations, and you know, there's nothing about this team that isn't a good quality program, and we're just hoping it'll be a really good game between our team and their team. So.
Well, the last game of the season seemed like it was a long time ago for you guys. You've had a lot of time to get ready for this matchup with Monroe. There's one good thing about that, get everybody healthy, and it sounds like you do have everybody ready for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. This probably is the first game of the season where we have everybody. I have a full defense and offense. I have the starters I wanted. Nobody's going to be on the sidelines with an injury or an issue. So this is, we have finally come to a point where everybody's here, everybody is solid, everybody's healthy, and we're going to have the best that this Wenatchee program has to offer will be seen tonight.
Well, I kind of joked a little bit about how we started the season in March with snow in the end zone. We're kind of ducking from weather. We're kind of ducking from weather again here today.
Tell me about it. I put away the beanie thinking, you know, it was 80 degrees 2 days ago, and so I dusted the thing off, and here we are again, and I've got my rain jacket and a thermal over there. So yeah, I mean, go figure. But once this game starts, I don't feel anything else. So we'll be fine.
Well, best of luck here tonight. And afterwards, we're going to come down on the field and talk to you guys. Win or lose, we're going to talk to you after the game's over here too. So
you bet. So we'll win, and we'll talk to you later. Then how about that? How about that?
All right. Well, there's Brandon Parker, head coach of the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. We'll come back with lineups and get you ready for face-off. Coming up next, it's round one of the playoffs for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder and Monroe Bearcats. Coming our way next on the NCW Life Channel.
Sam Yeah, just be aware that AT's a big bull dodger, okay? That's all I want. Maybe we're really spread out, John. Yeah. Hey, look over, see Johnny. Hey, Johnny, see Jake. Be active in there, Caden. Be active. Always have a double right there. There you go, Caden. Yeah! Good cut, Jake. Good cut, Jake. Sam, you're just staying on 30. That's your guy. Yes. Yeah, keep running. Keep running. 24. And go with Johnny too. Like, if Johnny
He said Cooper. 13. He's 13.
Get like double hits. So like if you're both up top. Here we go, Katie. Here we go, baby. High five, you got three. You got three. That's not how this game played out last year. Go back on down. 5-1 now. Johnny now. Johnny now. Johnny, set your 5-1. Johnny, set your 5-1. You got 27. Talk it through, guys. Talk it through. Get up. Listen, he's good, John. Get up. Side is 2. He's robotic. Talk. Usad is 2. Usad is 2. Yeah, you're right. Get it. Talk.
First quarter action underway already here at the Apple Bowl, and apologies for a little technical difficulties getting you the broadcast here. And already Monroe on top as they score in the 11:02 mark of the first quarter. Josh McCauley with a goal in tight as they got the face-off and worked it down on Wenatchee Valley's end. Now Wenatchee Valley getting a couple of turnovers here and going on the offensive front along with Rod Higley. I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCW Life Channel. So first quarter action of this playoff game, Monroe on top. 1-0 early going as Wenatchee Valley works it behind the goal crease as they come out top and then work the offense here as it comes into the net of Cole Loomis. Loomis will feed it right side to Kyle Schmaltz, who just made a nice steal here moments ago, Ron.
He sure did. And Kyle's been playing great lately, and it looks like Wenatchee, is getting some turnovers here. They're playing fast, which is good. Aggressive
so far on the defensive front, and then converting that into some offensive opportunities. So Wenatchee here playing in Monroe's end, even though they trail it on the scoreboard with 8:20 to go here in this first quarter of play. And now the attack and the shot bouncing just a little bit wide, and it goes off of the net behind the goal off of Kyle Schmaltz, but Wenatchee Valley will maintain possession here. They'll bring it out to Connor Tilley. It was a nice attempt by Cole Loomis in close. Just couldn't get it. Loomis collects it over beyond the 30-yard line right side as they work it around the perimeter here. Now over to Gray Coldy. Coldy will come back behind, get a little pick off there, come back in front and turn and shoot. And, nice opportunity, but again, just a little bit shy. And it's Monroe coming up with the ball behind the goal crease as for Wenatchee Valley. Connor Tilley just couldn't come up with it there.
He had a shot at it. Thought he was going to pull it away, but, Monroe's playing aggressively as well. Another turnover, so that's 3 here in this first quarter of play. Let's see if Wenatchee Valley can convert it here as Jax Tucker came up with the ball. And so Wenatchee Valley brings it up the near sideline, and let's see who's got it. Cutter Wilkins has the ball.
Wilkins has it. Sometimes it's easy to lose it in the net court, and here comes the big fella, Nathan McCarthy, on the drive, spinning and moving and close, and the goal.
He was not going to be denied.
You get that big fella moving. And Nathan McCarthy, as he's done all season long for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, gets a goal and ties it up here with 7:17 to go in the first quarter of play. We're tied at 1.
Yeah, it's nice to see Nate get off to a good start. Wenatchee will play so much better if they get a lead in this game. I know they always, feel better when they've got the momentum going.
34th goal on the season for Nathan McCarthy. He and Connor Tilley came in with the team lead in goals on the season here, so that feels good. You get that kind of rust off here. Seems like forever since they played a game.
It's been a week and a half, so I bet both teams are a little rusty. Monroe hasn't played for a while either.
Jake Reiner out there on the faceoff here for Wenatchee Valley, and can't quite see the number on who's opposing him there. I think it's Caden Dillion, the number 64, and it's Wenatchee Valley getting the face-off. Here's Reiner
Jake
on the drive. The shot just a little bit wide to the right.
That's a good aggressive move by Jake Reiner. Hey, you want to keep firing at the goal in this game.
Absolutely. So here we go. It'll be Wenatchee Valley ball as they'll bring it in from the end line and come outside with it to Kyle Schmaltz. Schmaltz will swing it around to Reiner and then out top to Cutter Wilkins. Wilkins comes near side to Coldy. Coldy back behind to Tilley. Connor brings it back outside. A little fumble out there, but no problem here for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. Cutter Wilkins with it. Now he'll cross it over to Reiner. Reiner looking at, looks like a man defense here to start things. Gets a pick out top. Comes left with it. Now let's see if he spins. He does. Then says, let's back it out again. So Wilkins with it now. He's going to drive. He's got the double team on him.
Oh, he
spins through it with the shot. Ew, just off the mark.
Tried to bounce it in. It was a good move by Cutter, splitting those two defenders.
Absolutely. Tied at 1, 6:23 to go here in the first quarter of play. Thanks for joining us on the NCW Life Channel here with Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse playoffs. There's 16 teams that started it, and we're already almost close down to that Elite 8, if you will, with many games played last night and earlier today. And a nice look and a reverse shot and a goal for Wenatchee Valley by Kyle Schmaltz.
That is such a great shot by Kyle Schmaltz. You can tell the seniors really want to win this game. They're really up for this one. That's a great shot.
A great crowd erupting over on the far side over here. It's now 2-1 Wenatchee on top with 6:06 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Kyle, he's played lacrosse for a long time. I haven't seen a behind-the-back shot from him before, but it was the right call in that spot.
Absolutely. He got the defense out in front of him and just no look behind the back and was able to get the score. The officials talking it over here, making sure that everybody's good to go before we start the face-off. This time Nathan McCarthy will be out there on the face-off for Wenatchee Valley against Caden Dillion for Monroe. So Wenatchee Valley with the first lead here, and McCarthy comes up with the face-off. Here comes the double team. He gets by him. Then looking for help. Feeds it over and into the stick of Schmaltz. Schmaltz back behind to Tilley. Tilley brings it back outside to Coldy. Coldy will feed it even further out to Roby Jorgensen. He's been a key cog this year also for Wenatchee Valley. I mean, who do you point to as far as being key to get this first number 1 seed and then get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of guys that can get it done for Wenatchee, but certainly Nate McCarthy and Tilley have been the top 2 guys, and Roby Jorgensen.
Cole Loomis brings it outside to Nathan McCarthy again. McCarthy backs away, kind of eyeing things, waiting for some bodies to move around. Now he starts the drive on the right side, feeds in close, and a tough angled shot. A little bit off the mark here for Coldy, and the ball is going to come near side out of bounds. It was on the shot, so Wenatchee Valley should have the possession.
I think Monroe may have – no, they give it to Wenatchee. No,
they're going to give it to Monroe.
Yeah, I thought the defender got there before.
Okay,
before
all right, so Monroe was closest to the ball when it went out of bounds. So then in that case in lacrosse, they get the possession. So it'll be one of their long stick men, Kobe Walker, who brings it up. And then they quickly get it into the attack box here in a good angle, and it ricocheted off the post. I thought that went in.
Yeah, it sure looked like it was inside the post, but they're not giving them the goal.
The shot was by their lead man, Jacob Vandevetter.
It's hard to read these numbers. I think that's 89. Is that 99?
89 that has it now is Vandevetter, 99 that took that shot. We're going to get a flag here.
Flag down.
So we're going to get a penalty on Wenatchee. Here's Vandevetter. He's the one that we think had that ball inside the crease, but there was no call. But now there's going to be a penalty here against Wenatchee. So the Wenatchee Valley Thunder will play a man down here.
Looks like Nate McCarthy's going to the penalty box.
All right, so McCarthy comes here near side. And
cross-check, 1 minute.
Minute penalty. So Wenatchee Valley leading it by 1, 2-1 with 4:37 to go. And here you go. Tax the defense here early on.
That'll be tough. Monroe's got a lot of guys that can put it in the goal. So being a man down in this situation, they really have to stiffen up on the defense.
Josh McCauley gives it up to Christensen. Christensen down low to McCauley. And then back behind it goes. That's 14 with it. Johnny Adams. Then back outside to go. And the ball fumbled away here, but Christensen's going to track it down near the 40-yard line, get it back inside the offensive box here as they got it down right side to McCauley and then back behind again. Look out, there was a gap in the defense. Wenatchee Valley looks like kind of a zone here in front of the goal crease. And
that's
now a
nice
shot and a nice stop in front again. Kyle Robertson's just been money all season long for Wenatchee Valley.
He's been great, and coming up with the stop there, man down, he's big.
Easton Hudson had it, but then got bumped and then lost the handle, so it'll be back to Monroe as they feed it back to their goalie, Jackson Morris. Morris going to run out near midfield and then give it up to Dillion. Dillion brings it inside the attack box. It goes right side. That penalty's got to be about out here. And now we're even strength. And so coming onto the field to help out defensively for Wenatchee Valley, Mason Dahlbeck. And Dahlbeck comes in, grabs a man right away. Wenatchee Valley kind of keeping the same defensive attack here. Here comes a
nice
drive by Monroe. And a spin and a turn. Tough job.
Nice
Johnny
stop.
Adams. Nice stop again
Two
by
nice saves.
Kyle Robertson for Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, that 14, he's a good player. He made a nice move there.
Feed near side, and it's behind the intended receiver here, Mason Dahlbeck. He can't get a stick on it, so it goes out of bounds. It'll be out to Monroe on the turnover. First turnover, I think, for Wenatchee Valley here in this game.
Monroe's had a couple, but, it's early in the game, and they're probably still a little bit nervous.
Teams feeling each other out with 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 2-1 our score. Wenatchee Valley on top after Monroe got the first goal of the game in the 11-minute mark. Wenatchee Valley countered just a little more than a minute apart from both goals from McCarthy and Schmaltz. So outside, Monroe works it. Johnny Adams with it out by the 30-yard line. He'll cross it over. And this is, I think, 99. That's Van de Venter. And in close it comes, tight to Cooper Jeffrey.
Oh, the guy's wide open on the crease on the other side.
Didn't see him. Here it comes outside again and wide open with the shot and the goal to tie it is Johnny Adams.
Yeah, tough open shot like that. He got to set his feet and wind up, and tough for Kyle to stop three in a row.
You've talked about that before, that you kind of get caught ball watching rather than people watching, and it seemed like that was kind of the case there for Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, I think so. And the defenders have to slide to the open guy, and when they get moving like that, sometimes the guy gets open and he gets the shot just like he just had.
2:29 left here in the first quarter of play, all tied at 2 in this first round playoff game between the Wenatchee Valley Thunder and the Monroe Bearcats. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel. Face-off. I think the tilt was by Monroe a little bit before the whistle, so they give it over to Wenatchee Valley as Nathan McCarthy will have it out by the W here on the Wenatchee Panther home surface, home for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder here in Lacrosse. Cole Loomis with it now works off a pick for McCarthy out front. He'll sling it back to McCarthy. And don't be surprised for him to shoot it from out there.
You'd like to see him work the ball around and get a nice, clean, open shot.
Especially with the time winding down here. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, all tied at 2. Back behind the goal crease is Gray Coldy. Coldy being pestered there by a long stick. Now he gets around him, and the double team comes. The ball comes free. We're going to get a flag out, and I think this is going to benefit Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that call.
So they're going to send one of the Bearcats into the penalty box here, and it looks like it's Blake Foge.
Push was possession, I think, the 30-second penalty.
All right, so just a 30-second one. We'll see if Wenatchee Valley can take advantage. 1:53 to go here in the first quarter of play, all tied at 2, and the first penalty against Monroe. So Coldy will get it to Tilley behind the net, and then back outside to Coldy. Here comes to McCarthy. McCarthy wings it over on the right side to Jorgensen.
Tilley.
Jorgensen in close. Tilley had a shot.
Oh, it's going back to Monroe. Wasn't
Monroe
backed up.
got the man back there by the end line. And so the Bearcats will have it. Get it off to the goalie, Jackson Morris.
That's too bad.
Morris brings it here near side, looking for some help. You don't see that too often where the goalie comes out and allows himself to be contacted. But such was
Ball's
the case.
down.
Turnover back here. Had a ground ball,
The
but it's
clock's
picked up
running.
by Monroe. 1:19 to go. The penalty is now over.
That's time. That's time.
And they could not get it across the midfield stripe.
Yeah, that's good hustle by those attackmen to stop that play and get the turnover.
So you get it, what, about 10 seconds?
10 seconds to get across the midline and 20 seconds to get to the box.
Okay, so it goes over to Wenatchee Valley. So Coldy has it, crosses over to Jorgensen. Roby works it out front. Looks at the sideline briefly as we have a minute left here in the first quarter of play, all tied at 2. Jorgensen working left side. Now McCarthy with a shot a little bit wide left. I think it was partially deflected in front of the goal crease by the defender. So it'll be out to Wenatchee Valley. They'll get it into Higley. Ben will work it up behind the goal crease, right side, then cut it back of the ball. Stripped from behind him.
He was winding up to shoot, and
he was.
Left his stick hanging out there.
Nice job by Evan Monheiser to defend that and come up with the turnover. So here comes Monroe in transition. 33 seconds. Got to get the D on him.
Yep.
And the shot taken and the goal scored. I think that was McCauley again. Again, hard to see the 89 versus 99 on the uniforms here. That's
Van de Vetter, isn't it?
Nope, 89.
Okay. Well,
that is 89. So Josh McCauley with another goal.
He's putting them in there. You can't leave these guys open like that and just let them run up. They have the numbers on them, but they should have stopped the ball first,
30 seconds left in the first quarter, so that's a tough one to give up here for Wenatchee Valley, but we've seen it all season long. It doesn't take long to score, 5-6 seconds, and suddenly you can get a ball in the other net.
Yeah, and they come in bunches too, so let's see if Wenatchee can get the face-off here and maybe get a quick one before the end of the quarter.
Looks like Reiner's out there again on the face-off here for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, again out there against Dillian. And he gets it. Now Reiner quickly in the offensive set gets it in the box and backs it around.
Not much time.
Just 20 seconds left here on the clock as Wenatchee Valley gets some more offensive power in there. Flips it over here near side to Loomis. Loomis has the defense come out wide, and sometimes that could be an advantage.
Yeah, he's quick.
Loomis works it right. Tried to shoot, and the ball is partially blocked on the shot. The ball's loose still with 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Monroe comes up with it. They feed it back behind. It's stolen by Wenatchee Valley, and they were in tight, but the time runs out in the first quarter. Oh, what a chance.
Not quite enough time on the clock.
I think it was Coley that stepped in front, stole the ball away from the goaltender as he was back there trying to feed it, and I think Monroe just wanted to run the clock out, but Wenatchee Valley right on the doorstep, but they unfortunately do not get that goal. So after 1 quarter of play, it is Monroe on top of Wenatchee Valley by a score of 3-2. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Playoff Thunder on the NCW Live channel. We'll come back with more right after this. Welcome back once again here to the Apple Bowl after 1 quarter of this playoff game between Monroe and Wenatchee Valley. It is the Bearcats, the visitors, on top by a score of 3-2. During that timeout, we had a flag come out as the officials were looking at one of the sticks for Wenatchee Valley.
Looks like Cole Loomis is the guy without a stick right now, which is very unfortunate. These guys, they check their sticks before the game. The ball is supposed to roll out. Nothing should change between the start of the game and the end of the first quarter, but that's just too bad.
So Wenatchee Valley will play a man down here to start this second period, as Cole will have to get a different stick. He does here on the near sideline, but he'll serve the penalty time here as Monroe will have the ball, have possession, and a man up to start this second quarter. And up on the scoreboard by a score of 3-2. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Life Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. Well, here we go, defense. See if they're up to it. And a nice job of deflecting the shot attempt here for Wenatchee Valley. Outside, it was Cole Hansen that got a stick on it, and then Cole's going to try to flick it across midfield.
Tilly's got it.
There's Tilly with it. Tilly going to race it up. They don't have the numbers, a 3-on-5 right now, so Tilly's going to work it even with a goal crease, but they left him be. He tries the shot. It is deflected, goes out of bounds. We'll see who they're going to say it's off of.
It's Wenatchee's ball.
Yeah, I thought Monroe touched it last on the deflection there, so it is out to the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. Whistle blows. Roby Jorgensen has it as Monroe checks in with another body defensively. Again, Monroe with a man-up situation here on a stick problem for Wenatchee Valley. Jorgensen back behind the goal crease. We don't see him back there very often. Double teams on him, and they can push him out of bounds. or lose the
Ball's
ball.
down,
and
he's out of bounds.
He does get pushed out of bounds, so that's another turnover for Wenatchee Valley. He got stuck back there with a double team, and nobody came to help him out.
Well, I'm sure they were just trying to run the ball to kind of kill the penalty, but, yeah, he was in trouble and didn't have any much help on that.
Racing here to the near side is Cutter Wilkins as Monroe gets it into the most talented stick out there, Jacob Van de Vetter. Van de Vetter spun at midfield, brings it into the box, and now we'll wait for his offensive help here as there's still a man up, and they try to feed to a wide-open man inside but turn the ball over.
That's
fortunate for Wenatchee Valley.
Very fortunate.
As I believe it was a 4. Boy, I'm having a hard time reading these numbers here for 64. I think that was Dillian that was wide open right in front of the goal crease. But Wenatchee Valley with the ball after the turnover. I think that's about 5 turnovers for Monroe in this first half. But Wenatchee Valley trails it by a score of 3-2. Nice job quickly getting into across the midfield stripe by Mason Dahlbeck. And now Wenatchee Valley runs their offensive set. Are we out of the penalty kill here so far? Or here comes Nathan McCarthy right side. I think we're even strength now.
Even strength.
Higley.
So it must have been a
back to Tilly. Tilly inside. The ball rejected, though. Boy, he had a man breaking towards the goal crease in front.
That's Jake Reiner.
Works off a pick here. Tilly feeds it back to Higley. Ben working around the goal crease on the left side there. Looking for some help. Passes it back outside. And a look and a drive by Reiner. In front. Tight spins. Shoots. And the ball partially blocked away. And an easy collection for Jackson Morris.
You know, they're running through this defense. There's holes there, so they're getting some shots.
Morris brings it up across the midfield stripe, feeds it up to Johnny Adams. Adams falls down, somehow keeps possession of it, triple teamed, and trying to keep him out of the box. He finally gets it in the box as the time was winding down on him to do so. As Adams has it, he'll feed it back outside to Cole Monpaz. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that name incorrectly. Monpaz still with it between the hash marks. We'll flip it over on the right side over there. And I think that is McCauley. McCauley back behind the net to Cooper Jeffrey. Jeffrey wearing number 13 will feed it back outside to Johnny Adams. Adams inside on the break, and we're going to get a penalty flag. Goodness gracious, the attack was by Van de Vetter, and he is clubbed from behind, and they're going to call the penalty on Wenatchee Valley, and I think that's on Cutter Wilkins.
Let's see what the call is.
They're saying a push and 30 seconds, so not as bad as it could have been with 9:02 to go here in the first half of play. So it will be ball possession here for Monroe, and picking it up is Caden Dillian. He'll have it over on the 30-yard line on that hash mark over there as the official says, hang on, you got to go outside the box here to start it or out in the corner of the box, and that's where Monroe will have it. They'll feed it down and then come behind the goal crease. As it is Adams with it. He's got a goal here in this first half. Outside to Van de Vetter. Van de Vetter will feed, and the ball partially checked, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Nope.
Oh, they're going to say Monroe ball.
I thought it skipped off him, but no.
I thought it did touch the man that was back there. I think that was McCauley back there. I thought it touched him last, but it's out to Monroe. 8:43 to go, and Wenatchee Valley's done a pretty good job of killing the penalties that they've had so far in this game.
It's going to be tough right here.
Feed outside, and Van de Vetter looked at the shot, and now taking the shot, but missing wide left is Johnny Adams. And I believe we're about ready to have that 30 seconds.
1 second left in the penalty.
Okay, so waiting eagerly to come back in for Wenatchee Valley is Cole Loomis. And now he comes in. Here is Monroe on the front, and a shot a little bit wide to the left again by Johnny Adams.
I'd like to see him be off a little bit tonight, you know?
Yes, yeah.
He can put 4 or 5 goals in on a game.
Absolutely. So. Johnny Adams, the leader on the team in 11 games with 35 goals on the season. He's got 1 tonight. It's a 3-2 contest, 8:18 to go here in the first half of play. And again, Adams will have the ball here near his sideline. He'll come inside the box. Picked up there by Hansen. Now he'll feed back over across, and spinning with it out there is Monpaz. Monpaz backs it away. Good job defense by Jack Myers.
Yeah, Jack's a good defensive mid. He's in there for that purpose, you know, stop these guys.
Jacob Van Venter collects it now out between the hash marks, lazily feeds it over to the right side to Monpaz as Monroe works the clock here with 7:41 to go, sitting on a 1-goal lead. Again, back to Monpaz. It's Cole Monpaz. Again, I apologize if that name is incorrect on the pronunciation. Monpas. So I'm assuming that's the pronunciation. Right side it goes over to McCauley again. He's got 2 of the 3 goals as he tries to lull the defense to sleep. Now feeds out top, and the ball nearly got away. Comes near side again to Adams.
It's a good defensive possession for Wenatchee, and we'll see if they can come away with a stop.
Johnny Adams now works it up against Hansen. Cole comes up. He tried to shot a little bit high, and it goes past the goal off the end line. Again, out to Monroe with 7:03 to go here in the first half.
He got his hands free on that shot, but he's just been off just a little.
They bring it back out, way outside to Johnny Adams again. Most of these kids from Monroe, all from Monroe High School. There's one, I think, that's not. And another turnover here.
It's Easton Hudson.
Good job by Hudson coming in front.
Take it all the way.
Here we go. Hudson all the way. Feeds it to the right side of Higley. Ben spins, feeds outside, and here's a right-handed shot.
What a stop.
What a stop on the attempt by Cole Loomis. And Jackson Morris makes the stop. Here's Monroe in transition.
Look at that speed
McCauley,
on Cole Loomis.
Left side for the shot, but right there on the stop is Kyle Robertson again for Wenatchee Valley. Back and forth we go.
He was ready for that one. Came right to him.
Robertson will feed outside to Loomis. Loomis comes across the midfield stripe, gets it into the box. Now feeds right to Higley. Ben beyond the goal crease now on the right side, feeds it in the back to Schmaltz. And we get a whistle.
There's an extra ball on the field, I think, so they're going to.
Okay.
I'm not sure what they've got going on.
Our officials here, by the way, today, we've got a local official, Steve Junker, back again from Wenatchee. Out of Seattle area, Henry Deary Schmidt is our main official here for this playoff contest. So Schmaltz will feed to Tilly. Tilly lobs it back out and a little bit too high. Let's see if Wenatchee Valley can keep possession here.
And they do.
As the ball knocked away and it's knocked out of bounds, it goes over to Monroe. Ouch.
That's too bad. Yeah, Sam Junker did a good job kicking that ball back, but Jake couldn't control it.
Jake Reiner was out there trying to get it. That ball on the pass out to him was just too tall and goes out of bounds. So here we go. Monroe with it as McCauley spins right side, and he's knocked down. And here comes the flag, and we're going to get a penalty against Wenatchee. As coming here to serve the time will be Sam Junker.
That'll be 1 minute.
1 minute for a trip, says the official. So, again, Wenatchee Valley going to play a man down here. So far, they've been up to the task, but 3-2 contests, you just can't continue to give them the advantage.
No, that puts a lot of pressure on your defense.
So the ball over on the right side, they'll bring it back behind the goal crease to Cooper Jeffrey. Now a feed out top and a shot and a goal. And look out, there's Jacob Van Deventer for his first goal of the game.
Yeah, that's, third time man down, and he had the open look, set his feet, and just ripped it in there left-handed. That was a good shot.
So 4-2, the scorer becomes with 5:24 to go here in the second quarter of play. I guess the good news is that wipes out the penalty, so now we're even strength.
Yeah, Wenatchee needs one here. They've done a good job on the face-off tonight, so if they can control the ball in the face and go down and get a nice look, all of a sudden we're back to 1 goal.
So it'll be McCarthy out there on the face-off for Wenatchee Valley against Caden Dillion for Monroe. Ball is set, whistle blows, and the ball is still loose out there. McCarthy had an angle on it. It's lifted up in the air. McCarthy still after it. Who's going to get it? Monroe comes up with it. So here come the Bearcats on the attack, and look out, it's Johnny Adams. He'll feed it down to the corner, back behind the goal crease. And I forgot my Windex. This window is so dirty.
It's been a long season.
It has been a long season. Yeah. Okay, so they'll feed it back outside to Monpaz. Monpaz will bring it back out to the dangerous Van Deventer. And you were telling us before the contest that he had a concussion early and didn't get a lot of playing time this year.
Yeah, apparently in the first game against Stanwood, he got a concussion and was out for 6 games.
And now we got a flag down.
Yeah.
I
think they called a slash on Dahlbeck.
Van Deventer was kind of waiting. Now he shoots and scores.
Oh.
My goodness.
Yeah, that looked kind of easy for him there.
Van Deventer, it looked like he was just waiting for somebody to come off the bench, and that's when the penalty flag came out. So that, I assume, would wipe out the penalty with the goal. They didn't call the penalty yet.
So, yeah, there was no advantage so he has to serve
so
the
he
penalty.
Does have to serve it. Oh, man,
Yeah.
so double harm there. With 4:38 to go here in this first half of play. Now it's suddenly 5-2, Monroe on top.
Yeah, Wenatchee needs to really kind of step it up right here. They need to find a way to kill this penalty, and they need to get a goal before halftime here.
So Jake Reiner out there on the faceoff again for Wenatchee Valley. Caden Dillion will go for Monroe. Obviously, their specialist out there on the faceoff, and he had gained advantage, but back there to pick it up for Wenatchee Valley. Good job by Easton Hudson.
There's a slash,
and there's a slash. Flag comes down. They're going to continue play here. Let's see if Wenatchee Valley can get it. Higley inside on the feed and turn around and a shot, and knocking him down on the shot. It was in tight for Reiner.
Yeah, Reiner had the shot, and they stopped the play for the penalty.
Okay. So it's a 1-minute penalty on Van de Venter.
So Wenatchee gets the ball back, and we're even. We got 2 penalties being served right now, correct?
Okay, yeah, we do. So 4:20 to go here in the first half. Even strength, both down a man. And I think the overlap here will give Wenatchee about a probably 30-second advantage.
I wouldn't be surprised if they try and score, even though they're even strength right now, and then they'll still have that time for the man down.
Okay. So Wenatchee Valley, Tilley started the offensive set here to Schmaltz. Outside it comes to Jorgensen. Jorgensen off to McCarthy. Again, both teams down a man, but I guess that makes it even strength here with 4:03 to go. McCarthy spinning, driving, lost the ball for a moment, trying to scoop it back up, is able to do so. Got the defense out of sorts, trying to feed it across to Tilley, who was right on the doorstep. Tilley couldn't get it. Higley's back there trying to get it for Wenatchee Valley. He comes up with it. And here's Nathan McCarthy near side all by himself. Didn't see him. Outside it comes to Jorgensen. Now to McCarthy. McCarthy out beyond the 30-yard line. Will feed over to Tilley for the shot in tight, but it bangs out and comes careening all the way out of bounds.
So Wenatchee's back, man up now. Cutter Wilkins is on the field.
3:30 left here in the first half of play. Jorgensen will feed left side to Schmaltz. Schmaltz looking down low for Tilley. Tilley with a waggle and then out to Schmaltz.
At full strength.
Off to Jorgensen. Now the defense for Monroe at full strength. And here's the shot, and it ricochets off of one of the Bearcats. Comes all the way out to midfield.
Oh, nice play
and a
by
scoop
Jax Tucker.
there. Nice job by Tucker. He'll get it up to Jorgensen. Jorgensen trying to take advantage. Left side it comes to Schmaltz. Schmaltz on the shot, just a little bit wide to the right. And it will go near side, almost out of bounds, but not quite enough, as Wilkins will come up with it.
Yeah, you'd like to see that's a good shot by Schmaltz right there, and you like to see the aggressive play by Wenatchee.
Now to McCarthy. McCarthy between the hash marks will come near side to Jorgensen, trailing at 5-2 with 2:44 to go here in this first half of play. Now to Cutter Wilkins, outside to Jorgensen. And then back to Nathan McCarthy. McCarthy feeds right side, and a tight pass in there for Tilley with a shot a little bit wide to the left.
Yeah, Connor can do some magic out there. He's not quite as strong left-handed as he is right, but you don't mind that shot at all.
McCarthy with it between the hash marks. Nathan starts on the drive, worked off a pick there from Tilley, and a tough angle shot a little bit wide to the left. Get even closer to that goal mouth, and that just narrows that opening so much more when you try to shoot from the side. 2:17 to go here in the half. 5-2 the score as Wenatchee Valley trails to Monroe here in this playoff game at the Apple Bowl this evening. Here comes Tilley. Connor working right side, backs it away from the defense, feeds in front for a close-in shot, and off the mark by Ben Higley.
It was a little wide on the feed, but he got the shot. It was just a little high.
So Cutter Wilkins now will bring it in for Wenatchee Valley. As he has it back behind the goal crease, will feed back outside to Jorgensen. A lot of the last few moments been played in the offensive attack zone here for Wenatchee Valley. Jorgensen comes right with it, spins away from the defense, looking for help, finds it in the form of Tilley. Connor backs away. Then he'll feed to McCarthy with a fake, and now a drive, and then a shot a little bit too high on the bounce.
They're working hard.
They are working hard. 1:37 to go here in the first half. 5-2. Sometime here it's got to pay off for the effort. So Higley has it back by the end line here. Going to let for everybody get set. Now he'll come, spin back behind the goal crease, look for some help, feed it off to McCarthy. McCarthy turns, fakes, shoots, and what a stop
another
by
nice
Jackson
save.
Morris.
That kid has some great saves, and look at the way he brings this out.
And the ball stolen away. Here comes Wenatchee Valley with the opportunity.
Go.
Cole Hansen with it for Wenatchee. with 1 minute to go. He'll feed left side to Higley. Bend right in front, turns, shoots, and just off wide left.
That's too bad.
And it will be Monroe ball because they had a man nearest the end line. Nobody back there for Wenatchee Valley on the attack after the interception.
You like to see them try and get that shot off the fast break when they're unsettled like that.
Absolutely. Cole Hansen, again, his defense has been just really crucial for Wenatchee Valley this season. So here comes the Monroe Bearcats. They get it up to Johnny Adams. Adams loose in between the hash marks. They bump him, and now we're going to get a whistle. With 48 seconds, a timeout going to be called by Monroe. So with the timeout on the field, we'll take a 60-second break and come back. It is 5-2, Monroe on top. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse here on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back once again here to the Apple Bowl. It is a 5-2 contest with 48 seconds left here in the first half of play. Monroe will have the ball on possession after a Monroe timeout. So the big thing here, Rod, don't give up another goal before the half.
Definitely don't give up another goal, but don't forget that if you get the possession here, let's try and get one, let's try and get a stop and get a turnover.
Well, it hasn't been for a lack of trying, that's for sure, for Wenatchee Valley in this first half of play. So Monroe ball, they'll bring it back outside to Johnny Adams. Their lead goal scorer has it between the hash marks way outside by the 42-yard line here.
They'll probably wait till about 10 seconds to go and then try and get one.
See if they can do something at the close of the half here as 5-2 our score. We were at 3-2 at the end of one quarter. So the 2 goals here in the second quarter all by Monroe. As Adams continues to just wind his way with 15 seconds now, he'll approach. As he's picked up by Cole Hansen, spinning away from him. Johnny lost the ball down loose. It's on the ground. Ground ball for Wenatchee Valley to see if they can come up with it. They boot it, but the ball comes out of bounds here near side, so it'll go out to Monroe with 3 seconds left.
Yeah, Easton Hudson almost had that one.
And they're going to shoot it from here, and the ball reflected off of the stick of Kyle Robertson, goes out of bounds, but that will be the end of the first half. So it will be a Monroe lead at halftime by a score of 5-2. We will take a 2-minute break and come back here from the Apple Bowl. Again, our score at halftime, 5-2, Monroe on top. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, where the name means a great deal. Global Car Care, Wenatchee's friendly expert auto repair specialist, and Confluence Health. Save high-quality care with compassion. Again, 5-2, Monroe on top. We're back after this 2-minute timeout on the NCW Life Channel. Had 23 goals in those 6 games for an average of 5.8 points per game.
Yeah.
So you knew this guy was going to play a factor in this. He gets 2 quick goals in the second quarter and puts Monroe up 5-2.
He's one of the best in the state, and you could just see his confidence and the smoothness of his shot. And he's quick with it, and so he'll be somebody that they've got to keep a close eye on in the second half.
Absolutely. So the Wenatchee Valley Thunder have their hands full here, down by 3 at home, first round of the playoffs. You win, you go on. You lose, your season's done. And Wenatchee Valley would like to take the next 24 minutes of the second half and have another thing to say about that here against Monroe. We'll take another 2-minute break and come back. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder here on the NCW Life Channel. Our coverage brought to you in part by AC Checker Taxi Cab, Neil's Boots and Shoes, and Quick Lube and Tune. Again, our score at halftime, Monroe 5, Wenatchee Valley 2. We're back after this 2-minute timeout. Welcome back once again here to the Apple Bowl, and we are just about ready for the second half. 5-2 our score. Okay, Rod Higley, you're in that huddle down there in the end zone for Wenatchee Valley. You're Brandon Parker and company. What are you talking to your kids about?
I'm talking to them about getting out and keeping their heads up and going out and winning this game. I think Wenatchee has more speed than Monroe. They've got more guys that can shoot, and they're going to go in. They're getting the shots. They just need to find a way to get it past that goalie. He's been fantastic, and they just need to keep shooting at him.
Yeah, Jackson Morris on the season with 138 saves in 226 shot attempts. So the save percentage is only about 0.5%.
But that does say that their defense is vulnerable.
Yes.
You know, so they're shooting on the guy a lot. And they're winning games. So, they're doing it on both ends of the field.
They really are. When you look at them offensively, and especially when the ball comes into the hands of their good guy, Jacob Van de Venter, it seems that they just kind of, okay, we're just going to sit, we're going to lull you to sleep. Now we're going to score.
Yeah, they're kind of just getting Wenatchee watching the ball, watching what he's doing, and then he just has to get past one guy.
Right.
And the slide needs to be early. They need to double him when he makes his move to the goal. He can go right and left, which causes problems for Wenatchee. But Wenatchee has guys that can shoot both directions too. Roby Jorgensen, Cole Loomis has beat his guy 3 times and hasn't got it in the goal yet.
Yeah. Well, and give credit to Monroe, too. When we have had those really good open looks out in front of the goal mouth, they have got a stick up and at least partially deflected, if not the ball, the stick on the shot.
Yeah, and there's been some trail checks, too, where they're catching the stick as it's going back. So I think Wenatchee, they've got nothing to hold their head low about. They're in this game.
Do you talk about not winding up so back so far with that and just give it a quick, up and back?
If they're in close, they can get some quick sticks off.
Yeah.
But, they're going to need some velocity in order to get it past this kid. So if they're out, past 15, 20 yards, they need to get some good extension on that stick to get it in there.
Well, and one thing too, Rod. I mean, it's the latter part of May here, and it feels like it's early March.
It's cold outside.
It is really cold.
Yeah.
We did have some showers earlier. I haven't seen a lot of slipping out there, so the surface looks pretty good.
Yeah, and the weather has improved a lot.
Yeah, the sky is kind of clearing here for this evening matchup. As we are underway for the second half, Wenatchee Valley still trying to get after the face-off, and they will get it. So it's Easton Hudson with it over on the right side. He'll get it down low as they'll work it back behind the goal crease to Tilley. Tilley back outside to Coldy. Gray Coldy had another good look in that first half. Here comes Nathan McCarthy. McCarthy always trying to press the issue. We'll give it up to Loomis. Loomis down to Schmaltz on the right side. Back behind the goal crease to Tilley. Tilley looking for some help, feeds it way outside to Roby Jorgensen, lost the handle. It's still loose. Looks like Cole Loomis is going to have the chance at it as he comes up with a ground ball here, and we're going to get a hold against Wenatchee.
Yeah, I think Roby held his defender.
Trying to keep him from getting that loose ball on the ground there. So it is a turnover for Wenatchee Valley. The official blows his whistle again, holding the activities here, waiting for bodies to get where they need to be. Again, our officials here from Seattle, Henry Deary Schmidt, and from Wenatchee, Steve Junker, our officiating crew here for today. So here we go. Monroe with the ball and a shot in close and a little bit too high by Johnny Adams. Goes off the end line here, and Wenatchee Valley close to getting that one on the end line, on the run back there. Nice job defensively for Wenatchee Valley by Jax Tucker trying to get back there, but it is Monroe ball. They'll bring it out beyond the perimeter. And again, Van de Venter will feed it down right side. We got a 99 and an 89, and with these light-colored orange numbers with no trim on it, it's tough to see the difference.
Tough to see.
Van de Venter is a couple of inches taller, though, than McCauley out there, who has 89. Now to Johnny Adams. Adams had a goal in that first half, a little bit too high and left on the goal. And good job again back there for Wenatchee Valley. Nearest the end line as the ball went across the end line, Jax Tucker, so it's out to Wenatchee Valley.
That's a good hustle. Let's get a good clear here.
Kyle Robertson now has it, the goalkeeper for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, lobs it across. Nice collection there by Tilley. They got a 4-on-2. They got the numbers here. Tilley feeds it down low over the right side to Coldy. Coldy looks across back behind the goal crease to Schmaltz. Schmaltz outside it comes to Cole Loomis, and then off to Jorgensen. Jorgensen almost lost the handle, but maintains possession. Now to Loomis. Cole in tight, in front with the sweep and the shot.
Yeah, he went low to high on that shot. Cole was ready to break through. So, hey, you've seen it before. You get a little momentum going. All of a sudden, it's a 2-goal game right now, and Wenatchee's right back in it.
And got the crowd into it as well here as that comes with 10:03 to go. So just a couple of minutes into this third period, and Wenatchee Valley has cut the lead to 5-3. Cole Loomis with his first goal of the game. Loomis on the season now with 20 goals for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder.
Now the face-off, again, make it, take it. Let's get this face-off and we'll be right back at it.
Nathan McCarthy out there for Wenatchee Valley. Pivoted after the ball was scooted his way. Now he kicks it to himself. He still go after that ground ball. Let's see if he comes up with it. He did. Nice job as the body came clanging into him. Here comes McCarthy. Still
Nice
with the
fake.
ball. Well, lost the handle. Is loose on the ground. Picked up by Monroe.
Oh, he's sure putting a lot of effort into that, though. McCarthy
Boy,
was.
I'll tell you. That was a battle on the far side. Now the long stick for Monroe. Feeds inside, the ball loose on the ground. Another ground ball here. Let's see who's going to get it. It is Monroe coming up with it. Van Deventer comes away with it. McCarthy comes and bangs him, knocks the ball loose. Wenatchee Valley after it, and they've got it.
Hudson got it.
Hudson with it for Wenatchee Valley. Across the midfield stripe on the far sideline. We'll feed it across to Tilly. Tilly a little bit too close. Now we're going to get a flag down against Monroe. Tilly still with the attack here for Wenatchee Valley. Wants to get a shot.
He should get that shot off.
Oh, my goodness.
They're going to hit him harder now.
Off the goal crease now. He has it on the right side. Back behind, cradling that ball back and forth. Now to Schmaltz. Schmaltz with a shot. A little bit wide right. It goes out of bounds, and now here we'll see what the penalty is against Monroe. I think at least a minute for Monroe. We'll see what the official here comes near side in front of our scorers table. It is a slash and a 1 minute penalty against Van Deventer. And also nice just to get him off the field.
No
for
kidding,
a while.
no kidding. Well, let's see. Wenatchee's got man up play. We'll see what happens here. Probably work it from behind the goal.
All right, so who's going to have the ball here? It will be
Roby's got it on the edge
Roby
out there.
Jorgensen over by the 20-yard line, trying to help out our cameraman here. It's awfully tough when they stop play. 5-3 the score, 8:58 to go here in the third quarter of this playoff game. Now it goes back behind the goal mouth to Tilly. Tilly, outside it comes. Now back to Tilly, in tight with a shot, deflected. It goes out of bounds off the end line. It will be out to Wenatchee Valley. That's a good look. Again for Wenatchee Valley, but I'm telling you, Jackson Morris is really good.
Yeah, he's ready for it.
Outside it comes to Gray Coldy. Coldy to Reiner. Reiner back to Coldy. A little two-man game outside. That time's wasted here on that man-up advantage. Ooh, they had a man cutting inside. Didn't see him. Now to Coldy. Off to Tilly with a shot, and it is deflected and then picked up by Jackson Morris.
I think they've scouted Wenatchee. They know Tilly likes that corner.
Yep.
He was standing right there.
He was right up against the goal mouth, and now the ball rejected. It's loose and then picked up by Monroe. Oh, Wenatchee Valley was out of sorts for a second, but they get back defensively. Johnny Adams spins away for the defense. We're even strength here per club. Adams gets away from Roby Jorgensen. Jorgensen usually not in there on the defensive front. Surprised he's still in. Now the shot and a nice stop by Kyle Robertson again for Wenatchee Valley. In transition, off to Wilkins. Now to Jorgensen.
They got numbers.
Jorgensen with a fast break off to Tilly with a shot wide left a little bit. And it goes off the end line. It'll be out to Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, Ben got to the end line.
Man,
that Coley's hustling, though.
He is. 7:44 to go here in the third quarter. Here comes Nathan McCarthy. Also defensive substitution for the Bearcats. Daniel Christensen comes in. Tilly will have it now here near sideline. Comes outside the box in the alley. Off it comes to McCarthy. McCarthy going to work off a pick outside. Little slippage there by Cole Loomis. Now the ball on a bad pass knocked away. It's picked up by Monroe. Transition opportunity here for the Bearcats. Up the near sideline it comes, and then getting into the box and then spinning away. The defense comes. He lost it. It's loose here near side. Cole Loomis after it, and Loomis comes up with that ground ball. Nice job by Cole.
Good aggressive play by Wenatchee.
Absolutely. So Loomis.
He's the fastest kid on the field, that's for sure.
Works it across the midfield stripe. Feeds it down low to Ben Higley. Higley back behind the goal crease. 7:02 to go here in the third quarter. Wenatchee Valley has scored once here in the second half. Now it's outside, and new body in there for Wenatchee Valley is Andrew Carlson. So Carlson inside, close.
Wow.
Higley with a shot and the goal, and it's a 5-4 contest.
That was a tough shot coming across the middle, left-handed right down there, and that's a good one for Ben.
Good
5-4.
job of ball movement for Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah.
Again, offensively, 6:48 the time of the goal here remaining in the third quarter. That makes it a 5-4 ball game. New ball game.
Yeah, and you can just feel it. The crowd, the players, everybody just has new life right now.
Jake Reiner on the face-off here for Wenatchee Valley. We'll go up against Caden Dillion for Monroe.
Got a lot of young guys for Wenatchee on the field right now.
Reiner adjusting his stick parallel to the midfield stripe. Whistle blows. Reiner had it. It's loose. Reiner still after it, trying to position himself. The ball loose again. Who's going to get it? Easton Hudson after it. Can't get that ground ball. It's still loose, and he almost stepped on it. Now it's picked up by Hudson.
He is such a good player.
Feeds down low to Higley. Ben with a goal moments ago for Wenatchee Valley. He'll give it up to Connor Tilley. Tilley brings it back outside and waits for some help offensively. Jorgensen coming off the sideline, as is Nathan McCarthy here for Wenatchee Valley. Reiner feeds over right side to Tilley. Tilley comes back a little bit high on the throw, but Higley handles it back there. Comes near side to Schmaltz. Schmaltz outside to McCarthy with 6:03 to go here in the third quarter. 5-4 the score. Wenatchee Valley 2 second-half goals. Here comes McCarthy. Let's see if he's going to take advantage here. He shoots, and it is a little bit low, and a nice stop again by Jackson Morris. Interesting how Morris, as soon as he makes that stop, he comes out of the goal mouth.
Yeah, that's their clear play. He wants to run it out and kind of confuse the ride on a little bit. It forces the hand. He's such a strong passer, though. It works for him.
Yeah, Van Deventer feeds it ahead. They get it in the box. Well, it did take him a little longer to get it in, but Van Deventer off to Adams, back to Van Deventer, and he'll feed it back to Johnny Adams. And here you go with that lull you to sleep, and then suddenly, bam, look out.
Yeah, you can tell they're a seasoned team. I don't think they're going to get rattled here. They're still up 5-4, so they're going to take their time and get a good look.
Johnny Adams now on the attack. Works it around with the shot. A little bit off the mark, but a good job back there behind the goal crease by Jax Tucker. Comes up with the ball for Wenatchee Valley. Feeds out to midfield. And now the aggressive attack by Jack Myers. Myers on the far sideline. Look out for Tilley. Had him open. And now Tilley's trying to direct traffic. He'll collect the ball over there at the 20-yard line.
I don't think Jack was thinking offense at that point.
he was like, wait a minute. I'm in this end of the field with the ball. I don't know. I'm a little uncomfortable here. So it comes near side on the to the Schmaltz. Schmaltz with a shot, a little bit wide left, and another stop by Jackson Morris. Morris waits and directs traffic, and now he'll come jogging out away from the goal mouth. The one thing about that, if you can force him to turn it over, then that goal's sitting wide open.
It is wide open, but look at this kid. He's got the stick skills, and
that's impressive, certainly. Caden Dillion now has it as they got it inside the box in time here.
They're used to it, too. I mean, the midi stayed back, so they weren't offside.
Feed at midfield, and this is going to be a turnover on Monroe. Goodness, we've seen a few just odd pass attempts here from Monroe in this ball game so far. 5-4 the score, 4:15 left in this third quarter, and Wenatchee Valley got the ball, and now we start play again as it is Cole Loomis who has it on the far side over there. He'll give it up to Ben Higley, and then back behind the goal crease it goes to Tilley. Tilley crosses over to Schmaltz. Schmaltz near side comes to Cutter Wilkins. We haven't seen a lot of Cutter in this first half or in this game so far.
He's been in hit and miss. He's had a shot.
Well, they are rotating guys in a lot.
Yeah.
So Jorgensen now with it for Wenatchee Valley. Comes left, back right, and the shot a little bit high, and it will be out to Wenatchee Valley as it goes across the end line.
I think Monroe's scouted Roby, too. It seems like they have two bodies on him every time he starts to go across the middle.
Yep. So Ben Higley now with it for Wenatchee Valley. As time winds down here in this third period, it's been an impressive second half so far for Wenatchee Valley, outscoring Monroe 2-0 so far in the second half to trail it 5-4. The ball inside. Tilley with a pass attempt in for Cutter. Went off of his stick and a turnover, and it goes over to Monroe. Jackson Morris again, their goalkeeper, waiting for bodies to move around. He'll feed it up near midfield, and coming across the midfield stripe, Jacob Van Deventer. Van Deventer picked up there by Wenatchee Valley, double teamed,
and he's going to
now turns and shoots a little bit wide right. He's not afraid. He's never seen a shot he didn't like.
He's the kind of guy that's going to say, "Okay, I'm going to pick this one up myself here." So.
Monroe was closest to the ball as it went across the end line, so it is out to the Bearcats. As McCauley feeds it, a little lackadaisical on that pass, almost knocked away by Wenatchee Valley, but coming up with it is Johnny Adams. Watch out for him. Adams with the fake attempt. Now he'll feed left. Van Deventer with it now. Right in front of the goal crease. Nice job of bumping him by Cole Loomis. Ball loose, but picked up by the Bearcats. Van Deventer feeds, tried to go across and threw it away again.
Yep.
Tried to be a little bit too cute there to McCauley. High on the pass. Goes out of bounds out to Wenatchee Valley. They'll get it over to Robertson.
He's got Mason Dahlbeck right there, and Mason just run it up.
Dahlbeck will bring it across the midfield stripe. Up the hash marks he goes. Nobody's near him yet, so he keeps it. Now feeds to Higley. Ben back behind the goal crease, crosses over to Schmaltz. Schmaltz reverses the direction. Now it comes out to Reiner. Reiner close
Yes.
in, shot and goal, and we're tied at 5.
Nice left-handed shot right down the alley by Jake Reiner. Big goal, tie ball game.
How about that for Jake Reiner for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder? He ties it up at 5, and the goal at 2:10 remaining here in the third quarter.
I don't know what Parker said, Coach Parker said at halftime, but it's working.
It certainly has so far. Wenatchee Valley with 3 second-half goals to tie
Got a
it at
timeout.
5, and a timeout going to be taken here, I believe, by the Bearcats. So we will take a break as well here on the broadcast with 2:10 to go in the third quarter, all tied at 5. We're back after this on the Wenatchee Valley Thunder channel here, NCW Life channel. Welcome back once again here to the Apple Bowl in Wenatchee, and we are all tied at 5. Jake Reiner with a goal moments ago, and now timeout taken by Monroe, and, well, it's a game of momentum. The momentum certainly on the Thunder side right now,
Well,
Rod.
it's been a great third quarter. I'd love to see him get one more before this third quarter is over.
Wenatchee Valley's been doing real well on these face-offs, and the ball's still loose, and
Cole
it is
Loomis.
picked up by Cole Loomis. Here comes Loomis on the attack in the front of the goal and tried a scoop shot, and a little bit too low, but a nice job again by Jackson Morris.
It worked for him last time, so he went back to the same thing.
Morris on the outlet pass here near side to Johnny Adams. Adams pestered by Tilley back here. Adams wings it across the
Ball's
far
down.
side, and it goes behind the
It's out of
man.
bounds.
Out of bounds to Wenatchee Valley.
Wenatchee doing a nice job on the transition there, and they forced him to a bad pass.
Well, we talked about the youth for Wenatchee Valley, but so far it seems that Monroe tightening up a little bit here with this 3-goal third quarter for Wenatchee Valley.
You know, they're not real deep. They have a lot of seniors and a lot of freshmen on the team and not too much in between.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was doing their roster. Yeah, not a lot of reserves. And here, Ben Higley for Wenatchee Valley on the attack again come the Thunder. Outside to Loomis. And we've had quite a mix on the offensive sets here for Wenatchee Valley.
Yeah, and that's good. You know, mix it up, get them confused.
Cutter Wilkins will feed down to Higley. Back behind it goes to Tilley with 1:08 to go here in this third quarter. Tilley knocked down the ball loose. We're going to get a flag out.
I think they call a trip on that.
Yeah, I think so. And Tilley, a little hobbled there as he's limping on the right leg.
They call a hold.
A hold on Monroe. So coming to serve a penalty, looks like it's Sam Robbins for the Bearcats. Meanwhile, it'll be Reiner, who scored the game tire moments ago, will start the offensive set for the Thunder. Left side, he'll feed it to Coldy. Back outside to Reiner, then to Coldy. Coldy, left side to Tilley. Tilley back to Coldy. Gray feeds it across, and Jorgensen has it now for the Thunder. He'll feed it over to Higley. Higley back behind to McCarthy. He lost it, but now Tilley back there to help him out. Picks it up. You don't see McCarthy back behind the goal crease very often.
Not often.
And he's back there now. Let's see. He's in tight, in close, and a shot at the score. And Wenatchee Valley takes the lead 6-5.
Maybe that's something they've been introducing this week, you know, put Nate behind the goal.
32 seconds left in the third quarter. And how about this third frame for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder? Nathan McCarthy with his second goal of the game, and the Thunder on top 6-5.
You know, 4 goals, just like we were talking at halftime. You know, you get a little momentum going, and it can happen very quickly.
Thunder with the first lead since they led it back
2-1.
at 6:06 in the first quarter. And the fans across the way thumping their feet on the aluminum here.
It's another one.
And now another win, and here comes Jake Reiner in close, and the shot, and the ball loose! and it's picked up by Monroe. My goodness.
Let's see what they do with it. Let's see if Wenatchee can stop them coming out.
Jackson Morris came out of the goal crease, and the ball fumbled off of his stick, nearly trickled into the open goal mouth. And here come the Bearcats. Ball
down.
loose. Another ground ball for Wenatchee Valley attempt. Scooping it to himself for the Thunder was Sage Kreider. With 2 seconds left, Wenatchee Valley going to run the timeout here. And what a third quarter for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder as they lead it 6-5. They went into halftime trailing it by a score of 5-2. 4 third quarter goals. They lead at 6-5. We'll come back with the fourth frame right after this. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. We'll be back after this 60-second timeout. Welcome back again here to the Apple Bowl, and the second half so far dominated by the home team, the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, with 4 third-quarter goals by Cole Loomis, Ben Higley, Jake Ratter, and Nathan McCarthy. Truly a team effort to come back and now lead it by a score of 6-5, but Rod, 12 minutes is a long time.
As you know, it can happen quickly. I got to say, though, the coaches for Wenatchee were fired up in the huddle there. They want this game badly. I haven't seen that much emotion out of Brandon Parker all year, I don't think.
We didn't talk about it in the pregame because I didn't want to even go there. But should Wenatchee Valley pick up the win tonight, they're home next week.
Yeah, Issaquah beat Tahoma last night, so they get another home game.
And Wenatchee Valley had the advantage here. And let's see, are they going to give them the ball? They will.
Procedure on Monroe.
All right, Jake Reiner, another nice job on the faceoff. He'll feed it into the box here to Higley. Higley back behind to Tilley. Tilley feeds it across to Coldy. Then back outside it comes to Loomis. Cole will back it away. And Wenatchee Valley, if you're the Thunder, you got to stay aggressive, though.
I think so, definitely.
You can't change your game plan.
Yeah. There's too much clock to worry about that.
Absolutely. You can't get into a stall game here. Loomis back outside. Loomis has it now for Wenatchee Valley. Off to Nate McCarthy. Nathan feeds inside, left side to Tilley, then crosses it to Higley, then back to McCarthy. Here's the drive. He'll kick it off to Tilley. Tilley looking, had the ball stripped from him. It's loose on the ground. Tilley after
Somebody's got to get that.
Oh, my goodness, still loose. And Tilley kicks it to himself. Nice job by Connor back there.
He's got great skills.
Comes up with the ball. Now feeds it outside to Jake Reiner. Reiner outside to now Higley. Higley backs it away. They are changing that lineup from what we've seen this season with bodies in different spots. Now McCarthy outside for the Thunder. He'll feed it up to Tilley. Tilley back behind the goal mouth. It comes to Loomis. Cole stops, starts, spins. Off to Coldy. Coldy in tight for the shot. Missed it. And right back there was Tilley. Tilley.
He tried to throw it before he had it.
Yep. Couldn't come up with it. So it is Jackson Morris here from Monroe. He's going to wing
Long
it
feed.
3/4 of the field. Gets it into, look out, there's the man, Van de Venter.
Stop the ball.
In tight, and the goal scored. My goodness.
Tied up.
From about 13 yards out, Van de Venter on the goal for Monroe, and just like that, we're tied at 6.
Yeah, I kind of had the feeling when he got the ball that it was going to be a shot, and no one came up on him once he beat Cole Hansen. Got to get on him quickly.
So tied at 6 on the goal by Van der Venter for Monroe. That is his 3rd consecutive goal in this game as he scored 2 in the second quarter. And the first goal for Monroe here in the second half has tied it at 6. We got a fire burning here somewhere not too far away. We see smoke coming through the lanterns here at the Apple Bowl. 10:24 to go here in the third quarter. And on the face-off, the ball loose still. Wenatchee Valley after it. And who's going to get that ground ball?
Dahlbeck, I think, picked it up finally.
Dahlbeck finally got it for Wenatchee Valley, but now they got to get it across midfield. He'll feed over on the left side to Junker.
Sam should just throw that up there.
Junker lost it. Here's an opportunity for Monroe. Transition. McCauley with it. Bumped by Junker. He's still loose. On the goal crease. Ball loose. And Wenatchee Valley comes up with it. Nice job, Kyle Robertson. Robertson feeds. That's a dangerous pass at midfield. The ball loose. And it is still a loose on the ground. Tilley comes up with it for Wenatchee Valley, and then he lost it. And what do we have?
Timeout.
Timeout taken by Wenatchee Valley. Boy, that is a good call for a timeout. for the Thunder. We will take a timeout as well and collect our breath. We are tied at 6 with 9:37 left in regulation here between the Thunder and the Bearcats. We're coming back next on the NCW Life Channel. 9:37 left in regulation, and I'll say that probably for the rest of this fourth quarter as Wenatchee Valley after the timeout. Good timeout by the coaching staff and Brandon Parker. So it is Wenatchee Valley ball as they'll work it around the perimeter here, trying to stretch the defense for Monroe out. And we have seen that throughout this game, that stretching it out, they do have some gaps in there. Jorgensen working with it, and he'll feed it back behind to Tilley. Tilley outside, it comes to McCarthy. McCarthy looking for a gap now to Higley. Higley back behind the goal crease. It comes to Cutter Wilkins. He's out there along with Tilley. Higley was just on the doorstep, had a man on his back, however, so they feed it back outside to Jorgensen. Jorgensen on the hash mark left. Wants to shoot that shot, and another nice stop by Jackson Morris. Morris will feed it up. And here comes Johnny Adams. Watch out for Johnny Adams, the lead scorer for Monroe this season. He'll feed it down to McCauley. McCauley will back it away behind the goal crease. Watch on the right side.
He's open right in the middle.
Yeah, 84 just came in off the sidelines, and a nice job by Jorgensen to pick him up. And so now they'll feed it out to the dangerous Jacob Van de Venter for Monroe. 8:30 to go, possibly in somebody's season. Now back it goes behind the goal crease, and they'll bring it back outside to Van de Venter. Van de Venter right side to Adams. Johnny Adams lost the handle. Nobody came out after him, so he takes his time to collect it back. Now to Van de Venter. I think everybody kind of collecting their breath right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
On a very chilly night here for this 13th of May.
Monroe seems pretty calm right now, though.
They have the confidence, that's for sure. So Johnny Adams with it. Out beyond the 35-yard line. He'll start to drive.
He likes to go right.
Yeah, he does. Feeds to Van de Venter. He has scored from there already this game. And now feeds left in tight, and the shot way off the mark.
I think Cole got there.
I think Cole Hansen, nice job by Cole. He got there to the end line first, and it goes over to Wenatchee Valley.
Big hustle play by Cole Hansen.
The shot was taken by Cole Monpaz as he missed it way wide left. And Hansen back there races to the end line, gets the ball to go over to Wenatchee Valley. And so now the Thunder's Kyle Robertson bringing it out towards midfield.
You need to do something quick.
Still waiting for it, and now he'll feed it ahead. It's a dangerous pass. Skips away from Greg Coldy. Coldy trying to get after it here. The Wenatchee Valley Thunder, clock still on him here to get it in the
Ben ran that ball down.
Nice job by Ben Higley. He comes up with the ball behind the goal crease now. Feeds it off to Cole Loomis. Loomis by himself spins, shoots, and it is on the goal step. No, it's not a goal.
What a save that was. I thought that was in the goal.
Right on the line. Jackson Morris somehow got enough of it to stop it. Morris picked up back there, and now
he'll set play they do with Van de Venter up there.
Van de Venter comes up with it as he'll step inside the box. Now feed, look out. Wenatchee Valley still not bodies in there. Now they do get it, and a high pass, and it's going to come near side.
Not out yet.
And Cole Loomis lets it go out of bounds. Another crucial turnover. 6:39 to go in regulation, all tied at 6. Lob pass into McCarthy. Nathan gets trembling and rumbling, and look out, here we go. Now feeds right side of Higley. Ben with a heads-up run. Now feeds it back behind the goal crease to Tilley. Connor comes near side into the alley.
Doing some subbing.
Now substitution as Cutter Wilkins came in for Wenatchee Valley. He'll feed it back to Tilley. Tilley looking towards Higley back behind the goal. Wenatchee Valley's been very crisp with their passing here in this game.
Yeah, it's been real quick at times, which has been great.
Reiner outside, it comes to Coldy. Again, another different look out there from the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. So Greg Coldy now going to run the offense and being poked out here near side as he'll feed down to Cutter Wilkins. Wilkins came back behind, now off to Tilley again, where we see Tilley often. And now he'll feed it off to Jorgensen. Roby spinning away from the defense. Another defender comes on him, so somebody's got to be open. Lost
Ball's
the
down.
ball, and it goes out of bounds, and will be out to Monroe. Ouch, that hurts.
That does.
5:40 to go.
You know, Roby just hasn't been able to get loose tonight. They've had 2 guys on him every time he's had the ball.
Another dangerous pass, and it's loose on the ground, and here comes the defense, but now it'll be picked up by Monroe.
That's, almost over and back.
Almost went over the midfield stripe, but a good job of collecting himself by Caden Dillion. And now we're going to get what? Timeouts or no?
Time. He didn't get it.
Oh, he didn't get it in the box.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So a turnover for Monroe. So Wenatchee Valley, another opportunity. So
Lots of turnovers here from Monroe. Wenatchee needs to
Absolutely.
capitalize, though.
Absolutely.
So far, they haven't got anything out of it.
So who's got the ball? Okay, far side it is Gray Coldy. Now back behind it goes to Tilly. Tilly will wing it back out front to Cutter Wilkins. Wilkins looked at that shot.
Don't ward that off. You can't use your arm to push the guy away.
Now to Loomis. Cole back behind to Higley. Higley off to Tilly. As you can sense the pressure. Now
Yes.
the shot and tied
Oh.
it a miss
Gray
by
Coldy got that shot off, but
Here comes a transition opportunity for the Monroe Bearcats. Into the attack zone it comes. Down to McCauley. McCauley going to race it behind the goal crease. Watch out. McCauley feeds it outside. Another turnover by Monroe as they couldn't get it into the stick of Cole Monpaz. Goes out of bounds near side.
Sam Yunker was on his shoulder, and I think he altered that pass.
So Cole Hansen will flip it back to the goalkeeper, Kyle Robertson. Robertson feeds it out towards midfield, nearly turned it away, but it's picked up by Jorgensen for Wenatchee Valley. Time winding down. 4:22 and left in regulation, tied at 6. What a game here in the playoffs between Monroe and Wenatchee Valley. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCW Live channel. Right side it comes. Higley has it. Higley feeds back to Tilly. Tilly going to collect a breath here a little bit. Clock winds with 4 minutes to go.
Bringing McCarthy back in.
In regulation, here comes big Nath McCarthy. Reiner off to Loomis. Loomis finds McCarthy. Now Nathan, what are you going to do? He'll feed it off to Higley. Higley back to Tilly. Tilly looking for a cutter. Comes out to the right side of the goal mouth. Says, nope, I don't see a gap, so I'll flip it back outside to McCarthy. With 3:38 to go in regulation. Off to Tilly. Crosses over to Loomis. Cole in tight for the shot. A little bit wide to the right.
Tough shot going back to his left hand like that, and just a little wide, but hey, they need some shots.
Higley to Coldy. Outside to Reiner, and then further out to Jorgensen. Jorgensen directs traffic, says, all right, Nathan McCarthy's going to cut one way. I'm going to go down the left side.
We got Ben on the wing over there.
So it is Loomis now for Wenatchee Valley. Defense has been very good for Monroe. Now a feed inside is thrown away and is picked up by Monroe. And a long stick, it's hard to hang on to it, and then scooping it to himself is Gray Coldy. Nice job
nice
by
hustle
Gray.
play.
With 2:58 to go here in regulation. That could have spelled disaster for Wenatchee Valley, but they maintain the possession, getting the ball back. Off to Higley behind. Now over to Tilly. Tilly outside, it goes to McCarthy. McCarthy, here comes the drive by McCarthy. In tight, lost the handle of the ball, loose out front, and it is loose still as the goalkeeper came outside the mouth and then picked up by Higley. Then inside it goes to Gray Coldy now. Coldy looking, can't find a gap, so it's off to Higley. Higley back to Coldy. Can't get too excited here. Just make sure of your passing. With 2:24 to go. Pass across, and it goes out of bounds, and a turnover by Wenatchee Valley.
Oh, that's unfortunate with 2:19 to go in the game.
Cross attempt over for Tilly on the ground, and we're going to get a timeout taken. And not sure who the timeout is for, but we will take a 60-second break and come back. 2:19 left in regulation. Hold on to your hats. It is all tied at 6. You're watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Live channel. We'll be right back. .219 left in regulation, all tied at 6. And Rod, that last possession for Wenatchee Valley looked like the eyes got a little big there. They kind of hurried some passes.
Yeah. That last pass obviously was wide and went out of bounds, and very unfortunate at this point in the game to have a turnover like that.
Well, let's see what the Bearcats have in mind here after the timeout. We believe it was Monroe that took the timeout, and they wanted to set the offense here. as Monheiser will bring it across the midfield stripe with the long stick. He'll give it up to Johnny Adams. Adams had a goal earlier in this one back in the first quarter, as it is Monroe ball, under 2 minutes to go in regulation. So the Bearcats going to set it up here.
And they're putting it in the hands of Van de Vetter.
Yeah, Van de Vetter has had the last 3 goals for Monroe.
And they
a high
throw it away.
pass, and McCauley trying to get after it. It's still loose on the ground over there. Who's going to come up with it? Fighting for it for Wenatchee Valley, Sam Junker. The ball's still loose
Cole
and is
Loomis.
picked up by Wenatchee Valley. Loomis comes up with it for the Thunder, and he is pestered from behind, and look out, here they come. Minute 30 to go. Loomis coming up towards midfield. Back in the offensive set. Let's see if he's going to still just try to drive it in there. He'll give it up to Higley. Higley back behind to Tilley. Now Wenatchee Valley after a crucial turnover by the Monroe Bearcats. Now to Loomis, in tight. Loomis with a shot,
another
and
nice
it's blocked.
save.
Jackson Morris again with the stop, and it's picked up by the goalkeeper for the Monroe Bearcats. He'll feed it up
deep.
towards midfield, and it goes into the stick of their long stick man. Here he comes in transition. Watch out for the shot. It's deflected off to the left side. Bearcats still with it with 53 seconds left here in the regulation. Bearcats have it. Spinning away is Cooper Jeffrey.
Quite a sequence there.
Goodness. Johnny Adams now with it for the Bearcats. They'll talk about what they want to do here between Johnny Adams and now with the ball, it is Van de Venter.
I think that's the guy they want to have with the ball with 30 seconds
to go. Here we go, mano a mano. Nathan McCarthy out there fronting the man for Monroe, Jacob Van de Venter. The fans across the way stomping their feet in excitement as well as trying to warm up on this chilly night. 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13. Here we go. Van de Venter with 10. Spinning across with 9, with 8. Spins away from the double team with 7, with 6. Is picked up by Wenatchee Valley on the turnover. The Thunder with it. Into the far end it goes, and no shot going to be taken. The whistle will sound, and we're going to overtime here at the Apple Bowl tonight.
Wow, what a sequence.
So 1 goal scored in the fourth quarter. That was by Jacob Van de Venter for Monroe, and now we head to overtime. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with your overtime frame. First of who knows. We'll take a break and come back at the end of regulation. It is 6-6 Monroe and Wenatchee Valley. You're watching Thunder Lacrosse here on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back as we go to overtime to settle this one 6-6 through regulation. A little fist bump here near side between Jacob Van de Venter and Cole Loomis, the two that had the opportunities for both teams down the stretch in regulation, but we are tied at 6 heading into the overtime along with Rod Higley. I'm Eric Granstrom here on the NCW Life Channel. Jake Reiner has done such a great job out there with a face-off. Ball is loose. It's scooped back, and let's see who's going to get it. Still loose, still loose, still loose. Cole Loomis comes up with it for Wenatchee Valley.
So big in overtime to get possession off the face-off.
Loomis gets it into the box, and now it will be Wenatchee Valley on the attack. Higley down back behind. It goes to Tilley. Tilley near side to Schmaltz. Schmaltz outside to McCarthy. Just a 4-minute overtime frame. Both teams are added a timeout for that overtime possession, and that's a sudden death.
Yeah, sudden death. So the next score wins.
McCarthy now with the drive. The man fell down. McCarthy with it will flip it off over to Higley. Higley back to Tilley. Tilley will feed outside right in front to Loomis. Loomis is open. The shot is
game over.
And Wenatchee Valley wins it. The Wenatchee Valley Thunder advance to the next round, to the Elite Eight. With the overtime win, 7-6, the final over Monroe. What a game here tonight.
Oh, man, that was a great ball game. Monroe played great. Their goalie was fantastic, but Cole Loomis wasn't going to be denied here. You know, the senior wants to keep playing.
Cole Loomis with the goal. 3:11 into overtime, 7-6 the final, and rightly so. The Thunder come racing off of the sidelines and head towards their goalkeeper, who did a great job here tonight in Kyle Robertson.
Oh, it was a fantastic game, you know. I mean, 7-6 in a sudden death, you can't beat it.
7-6 our final score. We will take a timeout, and both Rod and I are going to head down to the sidelines, and we're going to talk to the coach. We're going to talk to some of the players as well, because this is an exciting win here tonight for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. 7-6 the final. They're so confused about what's happening. They haven't even put the score on the board yet. 7-6 the win in overtime here tonight. We will take a 2 or 4 minute break, 4-minute timeout. Will give us time to get down to the sideline, and we'll come back. Again, you're watching Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse here on the NCW Life Channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Walkabout Grill in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Take a walk on the wild side. Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, with a name means a great deal. Global Car Care, Wenatchee's friendly expert auto repair specialist, and Confluence Health, safe, high-quality care with compassion. What a game here tonight. 7-6 the final. Cole Loomis with the winner in overtime. We'll head down to the field coming up next on the NCW Life Channel. Welcome back once again here to the Apple Bowl as the Wenatchee Valley Thunder extend their season by another game with an exciting overtime win. 7-6 over Monroe here tonight. The scoring in the second half, huge third quarter for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder as they went into the halftime break trailing by a score of 5-2. Cole Loomis would start the scoring for the Thunder just a couple of minutes into the second half at 10:03. He made it 5-3 with his first goal of the night. Ben Higley then would score at the 6:48 mark to make it 5-4, and suddenly momentum seemed to be heavily on the shoulders of the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. Then Jake Reiner with a goal at 2:10. That tied the game at 5, and then just 32 seconds left in the third quarter, Wenatchee Valley would get their fourth goal in the third by Nathan McCarthy. That gave the Thunder the lead at 6-5. But it would be Jacob Vanderventer who really stood up tall for Monroe here in this contest tonight. He got a goal with 10:24 to go in the fourth quarter, and that would tie the game at 6. It would end in regulation at 6, and just a few moments into the regulation time, just in fact 49 seconds into it, the Wenatchee Valley Thunder, Cole Loomis would get the goal in tight, and then he would give the Wenatchee Valley Thunder the win here in overtime. 7-6 the final. We're going to talk to Coach Brandon Parker. We're going to talk to some of the players as we continue with the postgame show right after this timeout on the NCW Life Channel. The postgame show continues here on the NCW Life Channel, and I'm telling you what, you don't get many more excitement than that. 7-6, the Wenatchee Valley Thunder extend their season and get another home game, as a matter of fact, after the win here tonight over Monroe. Now talking to the guy who got the game winner tonight, Cole Loomis. Talk about that overtime frame, first of all, and that final goal to give you guys the win.
Yeah, so basically after the regular time, everything just kind of faded out. Super tired, you're fighting really hard, so I was definitely worn out. But, we passed it around, saw the ball coming to me, and I've been practicing all day at my friend's house, just kind of shooting it in the goal. And I was thinking back to that moment, just, hey, aim for that corner. And I aimed for the corner, and we got it. And, I was just, so excited finally.
You look like a man possessed out there, like you really wanted to extend your season. You didn't want it to come to an end here.
Yeah, no, we've been trying to win a playoff game since 2011. I've been on the team, varsity team here for 3 years, and really wanted this win, and we finally did it. I was so happy to give that win to my coach and the boys. Just really wanted it. So yeah, I was giving all I had out there.
Congratulations on the game winner here tonight. Nathan McCarthy comes up big again for the Wenatchee Valley Thunder tonight. Talk about this game. I mean, it was kind of a game of flow. They had it in the first half. You guys got it back though big time in that third quarter.
Yeah, the penalties in the first half really killed us, but once we didn't have as many penalties in the second half, we were able to come back and get the lead.
I want to ask you about your first goal tonight. There are times when you take that ball and it looks like, okay, I don't care what anybody does. I'm going to take a shot and I'm going to score. Is that your mindset when you get the ball like that? I mean, it looks like it anyway.
Sometimes it is, but sometimes I'm looking for passes.
Yeah.
So it kind of just depends on what's happening on the field.
Let's talk also big thing for you guys tonight with the face-offs. Most of this game it seemed like you and Jake Reiner were getting the face-offs, and of course that really helped for that overtime goal to get the win here. Talk about how important that is for you guys to really get those between you and Jake out there.
The face-offs are pretty important. It's to start off with the possession, it's pretty big in the game.
So how's this feel to extend it another and get this overtime win tonight?
It feels really good. We've been working for this all season.
I want to ask Cole about that face-off too. Well, first, what does Coach tell you as you guys are, suddenly, okay, we're going to another overtime here?
Yeah, we just kind of gauge who's kind of feeling the best out there in terms of face-off. Sometimes it's Nate, sometimes it's Jake, and they just say, hey, it's got to be our ball. And the guys on the wings, we're doing everything we can to battle the guys off the side for that guy getting the ground ball. And literally, we're just thinking, this cannot be their ball. It's got to be our ball. And that's the mentality going out there, and that's hopefully the result.
Nathan, I saw a little something different here tonight too, and I don't know if that was a little offensive change in the game plan, but you behind the goal crease, I hadn't seen that much in games that we've broadcast this season.
That kind of happened by accident.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't.
It wasn't a plan or something you guys put in new tonight.
No, it just happened that I rotated down there and. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you look at the goal scoring tonight. Nathan had 2, Cole Loomis with 2, Ben Higley with a goal, Kyle Schmaltz with a goal, Jake Reiner with a goal. Truly a team effort.
Yes, definitely. This is definitely probably the most talent we've had widespread on the team. So really exciting to see that.
Well, congratulations, guys, on the win tonight. 7-6 in overtime. Wenatchee Valley moves on to another round here of the tournament, and we will talk to their head coach, Brandon Parker, as we continue here on the postgame show. Coming up next on the NCW Life Channel. Post-game show continues here on the NCW Life Channel. Now talking with a guy who's got to be smiling pretty broadly right now, Coach Brandon Parker. Well, you said you had confidence coming in. We saw some interesting things out in this game tonight. Describe this from your perspective.
Okay. Well, my perspective, first quarter started well. Yeah. Second quarter, we took a dive. We had penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. I think there were 5 total penalties in one quarter. Luckily enough, we held them to 3 goals. Halftime, 5-2. It's always difficult to come back when you're down at halftime. You give them the best speech you possibly can. You try to think about Mel Gibson and Braveheart, and you do whatever comes to mind to try to fire them up. And luckily enough, they came out, they tied the game, kept it pretty tight the rest of the way. Their goalie was fantastic, really, and he's probably one of the most amazing goalies I've ever seen at a high school level. He made saves. I mean, this could have been a 10-goal difference, but that goalie kept them in the game solid. Our defense played well. These guys hustled like no other that second half. That second quarter, that's what you don't want to do. Third, fourth quarter, that's what you want to do. And then overtime, for me, I walked over there to the corner, went against the wall, said to my assistant coach, there's nothing I can do at this point. Yeah. And then 10 seconds later, I hear everyone yelling. Didn't even see it. So there you go. Luckily enough, we got a win, and we'll be back here again next week.
Well, and let's talk about a few things here tonight. Number one, Rod and I both mentioned during the broadcast, there was a lot of guys in different positions. You were rotating guys in that we hadn't really seen a lot in that offensive set, especially tonight.
You're right. Well, you try to scout the team as best you can. You practice certain situations to mix things up. You know that they've been watching game film of what we've been doing, so you want to bring stuff that they haven't seen on game film, and it worked. Generally speaking, it worked, because some of the goals, I'd say 3 or 4 of the goals, came off of situations that we had been practicing this week to do something different, and worked out. So yeah, we were throwing everything we had, everything creative we could think of: zone defenses, man-to-man defense, zone defense, different offensive sets, different players in different positions. One of our man-up goals took a midi that's never played down low, caught the ball, Nate McCarthy, did a spin dodge, got in close. We had to get goals right up there on the crease because their goalie was so good. Taking outside shots wasn't going to work. So we had to transition and change how we played offense to try to make that happen. So
there were so many shots you guys took, especially in that second quarter. I mean, it just was. I mean, he was, a wall out there, their goaltender. Absolutely. But also, I mean, it was you guys, not for lack of effort, went in at halftime trailing by 3.
Yeah, well, their goalie and our penalties didn't do us a good job there that second quarter, and we got the right shots, the right timing, and the right placement that third quarter to then tie it up and then take the lead in the fourth, and then you obviously saw the rest. Yeah. So could have been anyone's game at the end of that game. That face-off to start the fourth quarter was so critical to win that ball and to get that ball down on offense and get the right people on and call the right play. which I called and then I walked over to the side and just said, please.
Well, Cole Loomis looked like a guy possessed on several occasions tonight.
Yeah, well, he had a prom date he unfortunately had to let go of tonight to play this game. And so I said to him after the game, Cole, I'm sorry about that, but you just won the game for us. Yeah. So hopefully she'll understand. He's a senior. He's a captain. He's a leader. And he went somewhere in his brain that he'd never been before and brought the best he possibly could. And he did it. And he won the game for us.
See, and as a reporter, I'm supposed to just hold my ground and well, congratulations.
I should have had my rain jacket on.
Yeah, and it's May 13th, but it feels more like March, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? Cold, and they just doused me with cold ice water.
Well, congratulations.
What they don't realize, maybe, is that we have practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to get them back.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they'll be running a little bit. Brandon, congratulations on the win.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for covering this and for being here for us. Appreciate it.
You bet. Brandon Parker joining us here on the postgame show. We'll get Rod back in here and get a few final thoughts and conclude the broadcast coming up next here on the NCW Life Channel. The Wenatchee Valley Thunder win it in overtime, 7-6 and advance. Welcome back once again here to the Apple Bowl, and a very happy Wenatchee Valley Thunder lacrosse team along with Rod Higley. I'm Eric Granstrom. 7-6 in overtime. The Thunder advance, and well, you can't get much more exciting than that. But these kids really deserve another chance at another game.
Oh, they really do, and they worked awful hard tonight, coming from behind, deep from behind, and they really showed that they want to keep playing. And Monroe played great, but Wenatchee got it done in the end in overtime. So great sequence, great game.
And we can't emphasize enough how important it was for them to get that face-off in that overtime, and so many times, especially in that second half, to just win those face-offs and give your offense the chance.
The face-offs, and there were so many different guys that were working hard to get the ball and get the turnovers. They didn't play perfect, but they did what they needed to do, and the face-offs were huge. Both Nate and Jake Reiner played great.
Well, they got another game next week, and we'll be here for that right here on the NCW Life Channel. Again, final score tonight in overtime, Wenatchee Valley Thunder 7 and Monroe Bearcats 6. For Rod Higley and for Michael Price and everybody else involved with the broadcast, thanks for watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse here on the NCW Life Channel. That's going to wrap it up here from the Apple Bowl. Again, 7-6 in overtime. Wenatchee Valley advances. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast has been presented by The Walkabout Grill, Global Car Care, Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore, and Confluence Health. Your source for sports throughout the year is the NCW Life Channel.